The Pinstripers looked much more like the Yankees that we've come to know last weekend, sweeping the Cleveland Guardians at the Big Ballpark in the Bronx. That's the first time that the former team known as the Indians came to the BX. They can come all they want, whenever they want, whatever their names might be, especially if the Yankees are going to play the way that they played last weekend against the Guardians. Ace Garrett Cole notched his first win of 2022, and aside from some fans throwing trash at Cleveland players following a walk-off win on the weekend, all appears right for the Yankees for the time being. Stay classy, Bronx. Yanks in at 5, NYCFC at 4. The New York City Football Club, the only reigning champions of the Big Apple, beat Toronto 5-4. They are giving the Yankees a run for their money of late right here in the Bronx.
We have been working with a more attacking approach in the midfield. Instead of having two guys sitting side by side, we have more freedom to go forward. So I think that just brings, obviously, another body into the attack, but it gives us more freedom to try new things and get into the box more, so we have more options when we're crossing the ball. And we've put a big emphasis on crosses a lot too, so we focus on that. If we get more than like 10 crosses a game, and then I'm available to get into the box, or Santi's available to get into the box more often, then we have more chances and with more opportunities to score goals. So I think it's shown very clearly these last two games.
At number 3, the Mets seem to only lose a game a series these days. The Amazons take 2 of 3 over the weekend in Arizona. On the ice last weekend, a rare loss for the playoff-bound New York Rangers. They fall 3-1 to the Boston Bruins. Here's the latest.
I mean, it happens. Like I said, we wanted to battle back, and after the second period, we talked about having a real good third period and getting ourselves a chance to win the hockey game. And we scored within the first 8 minutes, and it was real good. And then we hit that power play. Didn't generate much in the second one, which was a little disappointing, but and then they get that third goal. So happens. I thought we played okay for the most part, and played a good team today. Boston had a full lineup. They got their guys back, and they were excited, and they played well.
The city of Boston has had New York's number of late, unfortunately. That's the storyline in the BK Nets Celtics series. We go back inside the locker room for more.
Yeah, it's disappointing. Obviously, we didn't play a good game. Like I said, 18 turnovers, gave up 13 offensive rebounds, gave up 25 fast break points. Now a lot of those are on turnovers, but those are points of emphasis for us, and we've lost on all 3 of those. You give the Celtics credit; they have a great defense. I think it's made us second guess certain plays. We're not as decisive with the ball, and so we're not playing our best basketball. We're not being forceful with our actions, having that belief. We're second guessing a little bit, and so we're throwing a lot of passes that are second thoughts, and they're too good a team to do that.
The Nets grabbed the 1 spot here on the back end, and since it has arguably been the most shocking news, we'll let the headline share it with the news out of Rose Hill that men's basketball head coach Kyle Neptune is heading back to Villanova after 1 year at Fordham. Jay Wright is retiring. Neptune, his former right-hand man, heads back to Nova to replace him. Gutted here in the Bronx. This is the second time Wright has played spoiler. He once was tabbed to be the next leading man for the Rams and opted out in the midnight hour. Best of luck to Neptune. I still think Fordham will be fine. To the back end we go for the top spot. Mayor Eric Adams and police officials joined together in the Bronx recently to welcome the return of the NYPD's Saturday Night Lights program. Very cool. Last year, the NYPD partnered with the Department of Youth and Community Development, that's DYCD, the city's district attorneys and community-based organizations in order to renovate and open 100 new gyms across the city. Great story here in the Bronx. In doing so, this provides free summer youth sports programming on Saturday nights. Saturday Night Lights. Mayor Adams, Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson, a big friend of BronxNet, and other officials gathered at PSIS 224 in Mont Haven to kick off the start of the season recently. Saturday Night Lights, indeed. In the 4th spot, we've got the lights of the National Football League. The NFL draft started last night and wraps up tomorrow. The Giants and Jets looking to fill some major holes on the draft's final couple of days. And at 3, the Yankees are in KC and Kansas City for a road weekend series That reminds me, our Bronx Athlete of the Week goes to Nestor Cortez. He's been electric. He's really been the Yankees' real ace so far this season. Through his first 3 starts this year, Cortez has posted a 1.15 ERA with 25 strikeouts. As Yankee manager Aaron Boone put it, the legend of Nestor grows. The lefty continued his special start to the 2022 season last Saturday afternoon, continuing to prove that last year's breakout performance was far from a fluke. 1 start removed from setting a new career high with 12 strikeouts in Baltimore, Cortez took a no-hitter into the 5th inning against the Guardians. Nasty Nestor, keep it up, my guy. You've been great. Meantime, the Mets welcome rival Philly to Queens this weekend. 3 games with the Phillies starting tonight in Flushing. And last but certainly not least, in at number 1 on this date in Bronx sports history, April 29th, 1985. The boss, George Steinbrenner, had said 2 months prior that Yankee great Yogi Berra would be the Yankees manager for the entire 1985 season, no matter what. Then, of course, like he usually did, he changed his mind on this day in 1985 and dismissed Berra. Just 16 games into the season, the late boss brought back Billy Martin for his 4th term as Yankee skipper. Martin, who was removed as the Yankee manager at the end of the 1983 season and named a special scout, joined the team in Arlington, Texas after the weekend. The appointment of Martin marked the then 12th managerial change since Steinbrenner led a group that purchased the Yankees from CBS in 1973, forever linked with Billy Ball. The move irked Berra so much it would be 14 years until he would come back to Yankee Stadium. To the C-list for the return of a New York sports legend who is making plays right here in the Bronx. Earl Monroe, the former Baltimore Bullet, NBA champion, Basketball Hall of Famer, and Knicks great, has joined the ranks of former sportsmen who have entered the educational field. The Pearl has opened a basketball school here in the Bronx called the Earl Monroe New Renaissance Basketball School. Got a great name. It focuses on sports business. The school's goal is to teach kids about basketball business and prepare them for employment in the industry. Basketball will be offered as a sport at the charter school, but it will take a backseat to the founder's main goal of ensuring that students are well prepared for the wide world of sports, from marketing to public relations to ticket sales and beyond. The school is located on Parkview Avenue here in the Bronx. The New York Times reports that 110 ninth graders entered the school recently, where the head count will remain for the rest of this academic year. Over the course of the next 3 years, 110 more ninth graders will be added annually, capping enrollment at about 440 students. The 76-year-old Monroe is remembered as one of the best players in Washington franchise history, his number 10 hanging in the rafters of Capital One Arena. Though he never actually suited up in the nation's capital, Monroe spent 4 seasons as a Baltimore Bullet, winning Rookie of the Year in 1968 and getting 2 All-Star nods in 1969 and 1971. After 328 games with the Bullets, Monroe was traded to the New York Knickerbockers, where his career would take off even further. As a Knick, he would win the 1973 NBA championship title, earn 2 more All-Star appearances, and of course have his number 15 retired by the organization, hanging up in the rafters at the world's most famous arena. After all these years, he's still a winner, making plays here in New York. Only these plays seem to have such a greater impact. Cheers to Earl Monroe and learning. That's your look at sports. Stay with us. More Open back after this.